Then watch me do it again. Tell them I can't take no loss. My team hold no L's, no. Aiming for the top, can't make it by myself. I ain't taking no loss. I ain't taking no loss. Look, I'ma always win. I ain't taking no loss. Look, I'ma always win. We already know that we the coldest. Watch me heat it up, let me focus.
Oh yeah, ladies and gentlemen, the New York Yankees are getting back a major bat tonight in the boogie down in the form of Giancarlo Stanton. Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, Big G returns tonight. We don't know the corresponding move yet, but Stanton, based on all reports, will be in the Yankees lineup tonight as they take on the Angels. And don't get me wrong, folks, this is big for the Yankees. You know, I know a lot of people talk about, well, Stanton in the postseason. Let's not forget that G was a solid performer in the regular season last year for the Yankees also, to the point that if he didn't have that IL stint, there's a chance, well, there's not a chance, he would have hit over 30 home runs, no doubt about that. He was only 3 away, and 417 at-bats again, 27 bombs last year for the Yankees. So he probably would have had his most homers. You know, I know this is only showing 22, 23 since before that, whatever the hell it was after that. But G's impactful in a big way for the Yankees. I can give you one of the biggest reasons right now. Ben Rice, Cody Bellinger, Trent Grisham, Austin Wells, JC Escara. Point is, Cody Bellinger, the Yankees have Jazz Chisholm. The Yankees have a lot of lefties. They have a lot of lefties in their lineup. And even if it's a day that Stanton isn't starting and a team goes to those strong, hard-throwing lefty relievers, because, you know, even Dominguez doesn't hit great against left-handed pitching. He's been better as of late, but you can go to G off the bench. That is something the Yankees can't really do, because who are they bringing in? Pablo Reyes? Oswald Peraza? If DJ LeMay's not playing, DJ LeMayu? I mean, having G even days when he's not starting is going to be very important for the New York Yankees. Now, obviously, Stan's going to get a lot of starts, and rightfully so. I also think he's going to probably be in the lineup every time there's a lefty starter on a mound. That should be guaranteed. Now, who is this going to take time away from? You got to believe that the two names that it likely would take time away from, and Aaron Boone's going to have to decide how this is going to work, is Ben Rice, who they've already said could get some time catching, and then the other name I believe is Jason Dominguez. Well, why do I believe Dominguez? Because the Yankees love Trent Grisham, and they've had him out there all the time leading off, and yeah, he's done well. He struggled here as of late. I think he's hitting under 200 over his last 30 games, maybe. Let me actually just fact check myself on real time here when it comes to Trent Grisham. Let's actually take a look together real quick. I think that is right what I'm saying. A little bit. So last 30 games hitting 205 with a 326. You can see he's kind of picking up a little bit here as of late. 280 over his last 7. But again, Trent Grisham obviously had his time. He really showed off a lot. The Yankees love his defense. Cody Bellinger also hits lefties very well. So I think you're going to see a mix out there when, you know, Judge is going to be out there. Again, maybe against a tough right-hander, you'll see all of those guys out there. If Stanton gets a day off, Judge could DH, and then we know what that outfield would be. But I do think it's going to be very interesting to see how Jason Dominguez is utilized from here. Now, you guys know how I feel already. Yankees top prospect last year, right before the year began, he was the top prospect on the Yankees. Hasn't had a ton of time in the minor leagues. Has been one of the Yankees' best left-handed hitters in the lineup when right-handers are on the mound. Has gotten a bit better as of late against left-handed pitching. Defense, yes, it's not rated great, but let's be honest. Definitely not the guy that people were talking about in spring training that, well, this is going to keep him from the majors and maybe he doesn't make the team because the defense is so bad. Let's be real here. It hasn't been at that level. It's been bad among his peers. I get it. But it hasn't been that, oh my God, there's a fly ball in the air and he can't catch it. It has not been that. So I think it's going to be very intriguing here to see how manager Aaron Boone is going to handle this part of the lineup. How's he going to do it? Is it just going to be day to day and we figure it out? Usually Boone doesn't care about the hot hand. We know that about Aaron Boone. So I think this is going to be something very interesting to keep an eye on day in and day out. But at the end of the day, the Yankees need another right-handed bat in this lineup, and getting G back is huge for this club. Does this mean that, Brian Cashman has come out and said we need a right-handed bat? Is he talking about G? I don't think so. I think he means in addition to Stanton coming back, and I would agree with that 100%. You guys have heard me talk about that a lot. The Yankees obviously have holes. This does improve their team. There's no doubt about that. Like I said before, Ben Rice, I think he is probably the guy affected most by Stanton coming back. But here's one thing to remember. If you look at Paul Goldschmidt, who is no doubt about it, struggling now. Goldie's also 37. Let's not front about that. Maybe he's wearing down a little bit. I think it's too early for that. I don't think he's absolutely wearing down, but over his last 15 games, he's hitting 182. But here's something that I could bring up that could help Ben Rice a little bit. Maybe the Yankees will consider this a little more right now. Goldie still performs well against right-handers, better than he did last year, but he's hitting 270 against righties, 426 against lefties. There might be a window here where you will still see Ben Rice get certain starts against good right-handers, and Goldie sits and Rice is in. I'm just trying to figure out ways you see him in there. Are they really going to go ahead and just say, Ben, you could start games at catcher? I don't know. He's done it before. It wouldn't be some insane ask. It would have been like, oh my God, he's out of position. No, Ben Rice has started many, many games at catcher. We've actually seen him appear quite a bit at catcher this year, later in games to come in and kind of take over. So this is big news for the Yankees. I am very interested to see what you guys think those Yankees lineups could look like moving forward with Stanton in the lineup. So I ask you, as always, let me know in the comments below, what do you think the best Yankees lineup is they can put out right now, knowing that Stanton is back? And yeah, he's not the most versatile guy, so you're talking about a DH, and that is really it. Kind of takes that away from Judge doing it or somebody else. Then what happens with Dominguez? What happens with Rice? Let me know in the comments below, what is the lineup that you would be throwing out there with Stanton now back with his club? But I think the kind of underlying thing here a lot of people are forgetting about is when he could come off the bench. I think that's a big thing for the Yankees. The bench is weak. The Yankees have a weak bench. There's no doubt about that. And, the best hitter on that bench typically is, one of the outfielders who didn't play, or JC Escara. So if it's a good lefty, this really helps. If Stanton didn't start, he could come in late, pinch hit, maybe in a big moment, maybe in a one-run game, maybe a possible scenario to tie the game in a situation like that. So let me know in the comments below what Yankee lineup you would be running out there day in and day out. Again, guys, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to NYYU. Real talk for the real fan. I'll catch you guys on Game Season Live, 7 p.m. See you there. Peace.
Yeah,